Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4. How can it be Monday already?
I know, it's Monday.
We're just here, but they had a good weekend.
Did you have a good one? How about that game? How are you doing today?
It was a fluke. Poor Mason Crosby.
The Brewers made up for it, though.
Yeah.
And the Badgers,
too.
Yeah.
It's early in the season.
That's right. Yeah.
Coming up in this hour, Dr. Zorba Pastor will be along, taking your medical questions live.
That's right.
And what else were we going to talk about?
We'll let you know when it's time to call in. And we're also going to meet our pet of the week.
Oh, that's it.
From the Dane County Humane Society.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, and Johnny Cash. That's a great name for a dog. That's coming up.
But here's what's making news on this Monday. Don't put away your sandbags away just yet. With lake levels still at record highs, Madison's mayor warns the flooding threat is not over.
The limo company involved in that terrible crash over the weekend in New York is forced to shut down.
And that to-do about sharing a message on Facebook that says your account was cloned and not to accept friends requests, well, it's not true.
That was a mess. We'll tell you what to do. Yeah, if you got one of those messages, which just about everybody on Facebook
everybody in the universe did, yes.
Let's take a look outside today. It was warm this afternoon.
Yeah, summer's returned.
Humid and mild.
This is the scene up north over the weekend, near Minocqua. But that's pretty, isn't it?
That is very pretty.
The weather word's mild, but at a price.
Uh-oh.
Dana's in the backyard weather patio. Summer's back.
It is. It's a little muggy outside for us right now. Been pretty nice or pretty mild so far today. We woke up to some showers. Temperatures haven't been too warm or too cool, but we are going to see the chance for some stronger thunderstorms with all that moisture, with all that humidity right now. Most of the storms have stayed fairly north for the last 3 hours or so. We're dry through Dane County right now with a few clouds in the sky for us, but we do have the chance for the next few hours to still deal with a few isolated thunderstorms. Starting off mostly cloudy, getting a little bit of a break for us. Notice especially towards the southeast corner of the state, warmer weather there, a little cooler up north. Looking up towards Black River Falls, about 63, but Milwaukee closer to 83 right now. We're at 78 currently in Madison. That's almost 10 degrees, a little over 10 degrees above average for us. So it is warm for early October. And again, a little muggy outside. We also have quite a breeze. I'm sure you can hear the wind gusts at about 6 miles per hour in Madison, but closer to 15 in Monroe, about 18 miles an hour in Janesville. We're going to continue to see a little higher wind speeds with some stronger wind gusts, especially if we do see any thunderstorms pop up over the next few hours. As we go through the rest of the evening, we're not going to rule out the chance for rain, and unfortunately tomorrow also includes the rain. So warmer, milder temperatures, but that price is the shower activity that we're just not done with yet. Your 10-day forecast includes both ends of the spectrum, though, if you want a little warm weather, a little cooler weather. So we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But first, I want to take a quick look at what's going on the roads. Our first alert traffic update for your Monday. Throughout Dane County, there are a few things I wanted to point out right now. If we bounce up north, there is a fire on I-90 North. The right lane is blocked up there. So this is just outside of Windsor. As you can see, the right lane is blocked, causing quite a bit of a backup due to that fire on I-90 North. There's also a crash on 18 and 151. That's just before the belt line, causing a little bit of a backup as well. Speeds on the belt line, if you're heading eastbound, 60 miles an hour right up until hit John Nolan Drive, and then things start to slow down eastbound. Westbound closer to 61 miles an hour, so they're cruising along fine. Verona's not looking too bad along 151 Main Street, though. Backed up just a wee bit. If you're traveling from Janesville to the Beltline, should take you just about 28 minutes. Middleton to Sauk City, about 16, and then downtown to Sun Prairie. The average speed there, 36, so smooth sailing. Right now, it's just windy, again, with a few isolated showers up to the north, so you should have a smooth time weather-wise on the roads, but we do have the chance, of course, for some isolated storms later this evening. We'll take a closer look at that future track in just a few minutes.
Yeah, it feels like it wants to storm out. Very humid.
Yes.
All right, Dana, thank you. See you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. First at 4, it's been just over a month since this summer's historic flooding, and the threat is not over.
And this weekend brought more rain, and we have additional storms, as Dana said in the forecast. Amanda Quintana is live near Monona Bay with what the city is trying to do to prevent future flooding from high lake levels. Amanda.
Yes, we're right near Brittingham Park. You can see this is one of the areas that has been flooded from recent rains. You can see the water in the streets. It's in this grassy area near the park, but this is not as bad as it was in August, of course. Still, Mayor Soglin said Lake Monona is 2 inches higher than the 100-year flood level. With that rain on the way, he's encouraging people to keep their sandbags out. The City Council will be introduced to a resolution at their next meeting to approve a team of engineers. This would be a joint effort with Dane County to look at how to prevent this from happening again. The question the city is asking is what can be done to control the dams and keep lake levels low enough that if a big rain event happens again, we do not see major flooding. This year, we could hit a new record for precipitation accumulation.
I think in the last 100 years or so, we've had 2 or 3 events, 2 or 3 years where precipitation accumulation has been around 49 to 50 inches. And we're over 45 now, with basically a quarter of the year left to go.
The county has already approved supporting this engineering team. Mayor Soglin hopes that the team would start assessing the lakes in a couple of months. Now, this team will look at the lake levels and how to prevent flooding from the lakes. But the city is also looking right now. They have engineers on the west side in the areas where we saw a lot of flash flooding during those big storms. So they're looking at both different ways to prevent both different kinds of flooding. But those engineers looking on the west side, they should have some ideas that should be in the 2020 budget.
And more rain on the way, not good news. Amanda Quintana reporting live from Monona Bay. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. And sticking with weather, Hurricane Michael is churning in the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. The storm is expected to strengthen over the next day as it heads toward the Florida Panhandle. There were long lines of people filling up their gas tanks in Tallahassee this morning. Governor Rick Scott has requested a pre-landfall emergency for the state of Florida in preparation for the storm that is forecast to possibly be a Category 3 when it makes landfall.
And scientists are warning if drastic action is not taken, climate change could reach crisis levels in about a decade. A landmark UN report says if greenhouse gas emissions continue at the current rate, the atmosphere will hit a breaking point by 2040, inundating coastlines and intensifying droughts and food shortages. The report says nations need to boost the use of renewable energy like solar and wind power significantly in the next decade, and coal and gas plants must be equipped with cleaner technology, measures that have been endorsed by countries which are part of the Paris Climate Accord. President Trump has questioned the science of human-caused climate change and withdrew the U.S. from that Paris agreement.
The investigation continues into what caused the deadliest transportation accident in the U.S. in nearly a decade. The company that owns the limo involved in a crash Saturday that killed 20 people has been ordered to shut down. Wendy Gillette has the latest.
Investigators closed off the scene of Saturday's horrific limo accident in Schoharie, New York that left 20 people dead as questions surfaced about the condition of the limousine involved.
That vehicle was inspected by the New York State Department of Transportation last month and failed inspection and was not supposed to be on the road.
New York officials also say the driver, Scott Lissanikia, who was among those killed, was not properly licensed. Police say the limo came down this hill and didn't stop at this stop sign at the corner, instead barreling through the intersection. It plowed straight into a parking lot outside the Apple Barrel Country Store, fatally hitting 2 pedestrians and slamming into an empty SUV before ending up in a ditch. 4 sisters are among the victims. They were going to a brewery to celebrate the youngest sister, Amy Steenberg's 30th birthday.
They had a limousine driver, so nobody was driving under the influence. Very safe, responsible people.
Karina Hals's sister, Amanda, and Amanda's boyfriend, Patrick Cushing, were among the friends celebrating.
It really hurts to know that her life was cut immaturely when she is, she's at her prime.
Locals say the intersection has been a known danger spot for years. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, Schoharie, New York.
Federal records show that Prestige Limousine underwent 5 inspections and had 4 vehicles pulled from service in the last 2 years.
New Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh will get a public swearing in tonight after a week-long tense battle over his nomination. Kavanaugh was sworn in privately over the weekend after sexual misconduct accusations threatened to derail his path to the Supreme Court. Later this evening, Kavanaugh will be sworn in publicly at the White House at 6 o'clock our time.
Swear in a man who will be a truly great United States Supreme Court Justice. That's going to be my honor.
The top Democrat in the House of Representatives, that's Nancy Pelosi, issued a release saying that she would file a Freedom of Information Act request on what was in the FBI supplemental background investigation. Kavanaugh promised to hire all female clerks if confirmed, and he has done just that, hiring 4 to clerk for him. Stocks were mixed on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials gained 39 points, closing at 26,486. The Nasdaq Composite Index fell 52, and the S&P 500 was off a point. Well, it's making headlines across the nation. A new Facebook scam has tricked a lot of people into thinking their account was hacked and their profile was cloned.
Now, while these are real problems, this scam is not one of them. Jamie Perez spoke with an expert who has been following the details of this scam. She's in the news center now to explain. Jamie?
So this scam, or phishing tactic, as our expert likes to call it, is in the form of a Facebook message. It's basically blowing up social media as people continue to share it. Well, by sharing this message, you're actually putting more people at risk of actually being scammed. Now, this scam is in the form of a message, as I said, that says your account was cloned, telling people to not accept a friend request from that cloned account. Then it asks you to forward that message to all your contacts in case their account was also duplicated. Well, your account is not actually being cloned. This is a way that scammers use to pick out who is gullible online to fall for a real scam in the future.
The people who are circulating this can kind of go see, oh, who did this? And it kind of sets you up as a gullible person for potential future contact for an actual scam.
So what do you do if you see this message pop up on your Facebook? Just delete it, ignore it, do not share it. Scams are always these annoying things that no one ever wants to deal with. But there's actually a reason this is happening, and scammers out there are using tactical methods and timing of why this message came out when it did and why they're doing it. I'll have that answer and more coming up for you tonight at 6.
This was a big one.
Yeah, the plot thickens. All right, Jamie, thanks.
We'll see you at 6. Thank you, Jamie. The Milwaukee Brewers may find out later this afternoon who their opponent will be in the National League Championship Series. The team arrived home at Miller Park this afternoon following their convincing win last night in Denver. The Championship Series gets underway Friday night in Milwaukee. The Brewers will play the winner of the Los Angeles Dodgers-Atlanta Braves Division Series. LA leads that series 2-1, and those teams are playing right now, with Los Angeles able to clinch it with a win. LA is ahead 1-0 in the third.
Keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Well, there's more to come at 4. There is Oscar buzz surrounding the latest remake of A Star is Born.
When we come back, does it live up to the hype? We'll find out from our film critic, Will Loper, when Live at 4 continues.
That could work, like as a chorus or something. I'm off the deep end. Watch as I dive in. I never meet the ground.
Can I tell you a secret? I think you might be a songwriter. But don't worry, I won't tell anybody. But I'm not very good at keeping secrets.
That was a clip from A Star is Born, one of the newest movies to arrive in theaters. It's the fourth telling of this classic Hollywood story. Is it worth seeing? Well, here to let us know, film critic Will Loper. Hello, Will.
Hey, Mark.
A lot of buzz on this.
A lot of buzz, and hey, it may just live up to it. I'm saying fourth time is the charm. The acting, the music, the cinematography, and every other aspect of this film is top-notch. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better movie made this year. So Bradley Cooper, he directs and stars as an alcoholic superstar musician, Jackson Maine, who meets Allie, played by Lady Gaga, one night in a bar, and the two immediately connect. Jackson encourages Allie to write and perform her own songs, and soon Allie's star begins to rise as Jackson's falls. Now, Cooper and Gaga, they have amazing chemistry together in this movie. Their initial meeting and falling in love is some of the best ever put to film. The musical performances are fantastic, especially considering they were filmed at actual live music events and no lip syncing was involved. The story isn't afraid to go to some very dark places at times, so prepare yourself for that, but it's a journey well worth taking, and apologies to Barbra Streisand and Judy Garland, but this may be the best version of A Star is Born yet, but no word at this point on the version that comes out in 2037.
I'm getting goosebumps here.
Yeah. Go see it, Mark. Go see it.
Spectacular. So what's the rating?
4.5 Star is Born soundtracks out of 5. As soon as it's done, you're going to want to go out and buy it.
Yeah, I heard one of her songs on the radio over the weekend. And what a voice.
I know. I've been listening to it nonstop.
All right, can't wait to see it. All right, up next, Venom.
We are Venom.
Oh, I have a parasite. Yeah. Name is Chen.
So a spaceship brings a bunch of black alien goo from space. The goo gets absorbed by several people, and either it makes them a gigantic, super strong, scary-looking alien, or their bodies can't take the goo and they die. That's why our parents always told us not to play around puddles of alien gack. So Tom Hardy, he stars as a man who is able to handle this alien symbiote. The alien tells him his name is Venom and that he craves tater tots. Add in some generic bad guys and a plot to destroy the world, and you have the most ridiculous movie of the year. This is a train wreck of a movie that I was also unable to take my eyes off of. It's campy, it's hilariously bad. I don't know what Tom Hardy was doing with his performance, but I will say I was never bored. I'll also probably never watch it again. So if you need a movie to watch and say, what the heck is going on right now, maybe laugh at, this is the movie for you.
So you're laughing at, not with.
Not with, I hate to say. But at the same time, I wonder how much Tom Hardy knew this source material was just absolutely ridiculous and the script was bad, and he just decided to go absolutely bonkers with his performance because, yeah, the whole theater was just laughing at some of the ways he was delivering his lines. It was insane.
They're not supposed to be laughing.
I don't think so, but I can't tell.
All right.
It's a curiosity, I'll say that. Yeah.
There you go. So what's the rating?
2.5 tater tots out of 5. Forget E.T. and Reese's Pieces. Today's aliens, they crave tater tots.
Why tater tots?
It's never explained, but I think tater tots are delicious, so it makes sense to me.
Sure, why not? All right, next week.
Next we are First Man. Ryan Gosling stars as Neil Armstrong.
Ooh, Oscar season.
Very much so, yeah.
That looks really good as well.
I'm looking forward to that, yes.
I'm going to go see Venom.
Venom, perfect, yeah. Let me know what you think.
Bring some tater tots.
Yeah, we'll say bring the tater tots.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks.
Coming up after today's forecast, see how an artist pulls off one of the greatest pranks in art world history. That says Live at 4 continues. Take a look at this. A SpaceX rocket lit up the sky in California. The Falcon 9 rocket launched from Vandenberg Air Force Base last night. This spectacular video posted on social media. Pictures show the rocket separating from the spacecraft behind the rocket trail. And in a first for SpaceX on the West Coast, Falcon 9's first stage landed safely at the base about 8 minutes after takeoff.
That is so cool.
Isn't that? Yeah, it's a little eerie, but yeah, that's
I like
cool.
it. All right. It is Monday, October 8th, believe it or not. And it's also American Touch Tag Day. Tag, you're it. The game dates back to ancient Rome and is played all over the world.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty fun game.
You're it. All right, it's also National Kick Butt Day. Don't put something off you've been meaning to do all along.
All right, and it is National Fluffernutter Day. Now,
I don't know what this is.
I'm the only one in the
never
studio
had
who
one.
knew what this is. Sierra,
Sierra
did you
did
know?
too.
So you did know, Sierra? I didn't think you knew.
Here it is.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I got that wrong. Two of us knew. It's bread, peanut butter, and marshmallow cream, which was invented in 1917 by Archibald Query in Somerville, Massachusetts. Fluffernutter was created by an ad agency. The term was in 1960 in an effort to sell more marshmallow cream.
Nah.
I don't think that looks good at all.
I'm going to make both of you one tomorrow. They're
looks
out of this
terrible.
world.
No, I
No,
don't
they're
like
really good.
I'm PB&J. Just keep classic, keep it clean. It's fine.
You got to try it.
Okay.
You got to try it.
You make some.
I'll make you some.
Okay, all
I'll
right,
make you some.
we'll try it. So maybe a good idea to have a sandwich inside. It's a little warm out for October, but the colors looking beautiful. We will take a look at your forecast up straight.
Sir
almost in the middle of October, and it's just a little warm and muggy outside for us right now. It doesn't feel like October. We have showers to the north. A lot of humidity for us really throughout the Midwest right now. We do have a few little light isolated showers to the northwest corner of southern Wisconsin, but overall we just really had light rainfall for the last 24 hours. Much of Dane County under that ½ inch line. Over towards Grant County, some areas getting a little closer to an inch of rainfall in the last 24 hours, but even the rain that we saw late last night and early this morning was fairly light for us. That's all as a warm front has lifted right on over, draped through northern Wisconsin right now. It's going to continue to stay fairly stalled just to the north of us, sending a lot of moisture in our direction. We're in for a warm and muggy pattern for the next several days throughout much of the Midwest. Temperatures just staying above average as all that warm air has now just rushed right on in. We're currently sitting close to 75. Again, our average highs, we should be in the mid 60s with a little bit of sun for us. That's really helped us climb quite a bit today, but we do still have the chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms through the rest of the evening with all that moisture. If you haven't stepped outside, trust me, just a little muggy. We have clouds building back in overnight with some showers possible early Tuesday morning, some thunderstorms yet again as well, but much of the rainfall is really favored west and north of Madison as we head through the rest of the evening and all of Tuesday. Tuesday, we still have some clouds building through and the shower chances yet again in the afternoon, but again, notice it's staying northwest or favored to the northwest of us. And then heading into Wednesday morning, we start to have a little more shower activity sliding through the entire area, but still looking at clouds. Our precip totals, again, favored to the western edge, but everyone's looking to see some showers. We're going to add on just a few tenths of an inch for much of Dane County as we head through the rest of tonight and Tuesday. Some areas, though, along that Iowa-Wisconsin border could see up to 3 inches. And then as we stretch towards northern Wisconsin, there's some areas that could see 3 to 4 inches of rainfall over the next 24 hours, about 36 hours for us. Because of this, that area is under a flood watch all the way through Tuesday afternoon. We don't have any watches for Dane County or towards the southeast corner of the state, but the western side does have that flood watch. We do have that slight risk for severe weather also for tomorrow afternoon for the southwest corner of the state. Everywhere else under a marginal risk. Our concerns there, the opportunity to see some very heavy rainfall as the storms do pop up later on in the evening. Could see some stronger wind gusts as well. So because of this, we do have an alert day for Tuesday, and especially Tuesday night. That heavy rain could lead to some isolated flooding, and the severe weather threat is really that high winds and maybe seeing some hail, but that is favored towards the western side of the state. It's not a widespread concern for us. Right now, it is warm outside for us. We're looking at temperatures today reaching the upper 70s at 78 degrees, and our normal a little closer to 62. So we exceeded that early this morning. That's what we're sitting close to right now. We're going to steadily cool on down. Our humidity is at 68%, so it feels a little closer to 80 right now. Again, not like the middle of October. Overnight lows will be back in the mid 60s. Pretty cloudy and mild, though we may see some thunderstorm activity, but it's still favored to the northwest. Don't be surprised if you hear any rumbles of thunder. And just know it's a little favored to the other side of Dane County. Tomorrow afternoon, we're looking at being just a degree or 2 warmer throughout much of the area. That's considered pretty mild, but still very humid. And that alert day is in effect because of the possibility to see some heavy rainfall. We'll stay in the 70s for the next few days. Wednesday, though, late in the evening, will be pretty breezy because we have a cold front sliding through. And behind that cold front, we cool down rapidly. Overnight lows will drop towards 40 Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And then Thursday afternoon, we'll barely climb into the upper 40s. So just a few degrees during the day under a sunny sky. It will be a chilly autumn day for us for Thursday and Friday. And we do have the chance, looks like, to see some frost overnight Thursday night and Friday evening as overnight low temperatures will be right close to freezing for us.
I was looking for flakes on there. I didn't see any.
No. We're flirting with it some mornings. The moisture's right there. The temperature's right there. But we're not going to call for it just yet.
A little
early. We'll wait more patiently.
Let's have autumn first.
Correct.
Okay, thanks, Dana.
Thank you, Dana.
World-renowned artist Bansky pulled off one of the greatest pranks in the art world history last night.
Liz Palmer explains how the notorious prankster pulled it off.
Here's the auctioneer as bids come in for Banksy's famous Girl with Balloon. It sells for over $1 million. And then as the people in the room try to take in what's happening, the painting drops down through a shredder in the frame, and by the time it's taken away, much of it is in ribbons. Banksy himself posted this video, which includes footage of someone, presumably him, installing the shredder. Years ago, says the video, in case the piece was ever put up for auction.
Banksy's art is essentially two things. It's a graphic sort of poster propaganda art and a performance. Instead of being cut out of or painted over on a building side, it destroyed itself.
Banksy, who keeps his identity a secret, is famously irreverent.
Graffiti is a crime, so nation, call the police if you see this man.
He started out part of the counterculture, but his stenciled street art, laced with edgy humor, soon attracted attention and rich collectors.
These famous auction houses, all of a sudden they were selling street art and everything was going a bit crazy, and suddenly it all became about the money, but it never was about the money.
But in the art world, it is inevitably about money. And when you're as famous as Banksy, even acts of destruction make a profit.
This piece that has been shredded is so singular and different and newsworthy. The market is speculating that it's worth 50% more.
Now, of course, the art world is abuzz with speculation this morning that Sotheby's had to know something was up, if only because the frame with the shredder in it would have been so heavy. But Sotheby's is denying all knowledge. They say they were simply Banksy'd. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, London.
It's a verb now.
Wouldn't you have loved to have seen their faces?
Can you imagine that?
But you have to activate the shredder, so maybe Banksy was in the crowd with a remote
Nobody
or
knows.
something.
Nobody knows what it looks like. But 50% more. It was more. 50% more now.
Now it's worth more. That's
for
a
him.
great story.
Well, are you looking for a forever furry friend? Maybe Johnny Cash will fill the bill.
Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here. We'll meet Johnny Cash. He's our pet of the week when Live at 4 continues.
Will you
Marissa DeGroot is here from our Dane County Humane Society with our Pet of the Week.
Hi, Marissa.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
How are you?
Doing good.
So tell us about this guy.
Yeah, so Johnny Cash here is an adult hound mix, maybe somewhere between like 3 to 5 years old. And he was actually found stray just off of Raymond Road in Madison.
Right down the road here.
And he, I think, is going to be... I know, you want to be on camera. You want everyone to see your adorable face.
He thinks he's a lap dog.
So yeah, so Johnny here, he is a lap dog stuck in a big old hound body.
He's pretty mellow.
He normally is very mellow. He's getting really excited because he loves to meet new people. Oh yeah, that's a good stuff there. But he's going to get along in a lot of different households, we think, because he does, I think, well around smaller kids. He's pretty mellow with them. If you do have other dog friends in the house, he is looking for ones that are kind of more mellow playmates.
Okay.
And he does have a best friend at the shelter right now, too, another hound dog who was found stray in another area. And they are great playmates because they mostly like to just kind of run around the yard, smell some things, and then maybe just lay in the grass.
He's going to knock himself out with that tail.
I know, it's a mighty tail there.
Would you like them ideally to be adopted together, the two hound dogs?
If you are looking to bring a couple of big goofy hound dogs into your life, they would go great together. His name is Elvis Presley.
Oh, well, you got the whole band together.
But they can go home separately too if you just have room for one of these big old guys.
He's a lover.
Yes, you want to crawl up and just snuggle.
You want to try another one? What's the there you go.
He's not sure
he doesn't like the salmon.
What flavor are they? He's not sure.
But what's great is, I still think he's really young and he has a lot that he wants to learn, and I think he's going to be very motivated to do a lot of that.
And you got a dog special going on right now?
We do. So it is Adopt a Dog Month, and to celebrate, we want to help you find your Fido. So we have reduced adoption fees for some of our dogs that have had longer stays at the shelter. We're also doing half-price microchips for adopted dogs, as well as some giveaways.
Oh, great.
That's a good deal. Last week, Wisco.
Yeah, we have Wisco, and he still is at the main shelter. That is another gorgeous hound dog right there. And he is looking for a great new home.
Yeah, he was a good dog, too.
Sweetheart.
Lots of big hounds out there.
Yeah. A lot of big hounds, and they are just big lovers. So
all right, let's get Johnny Cash a home, and Wisco a home, and Elvis Presley a home. Go to the website, giveshelter.org, for information on all the critters available. Marissa, thank you.
Great to see you, Marissa. Thanks so much.
That tail. Now it's time to get your medical questions answered. Dr. Zorba Pastor is standing by.
The number to call is 270-9933. Dr. Pastor is at his clinic in Oregon. Hi, Zorba. What are we talking about today?
Hi, guys. We're going to talk about weight reduction and breast cancer. There is a link.
Welcome back, everyone. Throughout Dane County right now, good news. No accidents to report at this time. Everything that we were keeping an eye on earlier has been cleared up. We're moving a little slow, though, along the Beltline, of course. 12 eastbound, about 29 miles per hour, closer to 24 miles an hour once you get to the eastern side of that John Nolan Drive merger, and then westbound 12. Going about 63 miles per hour. Down near Verona, things still look good along 151, heading Main Street south into Verona, though. A little bit of a slowdown there. John Nolan Drive, 239, will take you just 4 minutes. And then John Nolan to Verona Road, only 5 minutes. University Avenue, 239, about 16 minutes. There we go. A lot of green. Things are looking pretty smooth if you're getting ready to hop in your car.
That is good news. Thank you, Dana. We are taking your questions now for Dr. Zorba Pastor at 270-9933.
Call now if you have a question. But first, we want to talk about some new research while we wait for your calls to clear about a link between weight loss and lower breast cancer risk for women after menopause. Hi, Zorba.
Hi, Zorba.
Hi, good to see you guys.
So tell us about this study.
Well, it's a study of the Nurses' Health Study. This is a long-term study, one of the major studies that have really been going on for the last 20 or 30 years. And researchers publishing in the journal Cancer looked at women who had breast cancer, 60,000 women who had breast cancer, women who didn't, and they looked at weight. They looked at women whose weight was stable, women who gained 5% of their body weight, women who lost 5% of their body weight. And they looked at it over a 3-year period. In other words, did you lose weight over a 3-year period? Did you gain weight over a 3-year period? Or did nothing happen? And lo and behold, they found that there was a 14% drop in breast cancer in women who had lost just a little bit of their weight over a 3-year period, 5% of their body weight. That is a huge difference. Now, we've known for years that being overweight is associated with breast cancer, but this is the first study to show that losing weight might reduce your risk of breast cancer. And I think that's really important information, especially for anyone who has breast cancer in their family or anyone who really was looking for another motivation to lose weight. Clearly, losing weight seems to be one of those factors that may reduce your risk. It's a very important study. Observational, we can't tell for sure that's what it's doing, but the fact is it's very, very likely that weight loss is associated with a reduction of breast cancer.
What is the connection there between overweight and breast cancer?
Well, we don't really know, but it probably has a lot to do with estrogen and estrogen receptors in the body. We know that some breast cancer is estrogen sensitive. That's actually most breast cancer. And we think that women who are overweight, just like they're more likely to get diabetes because they are insulin resistant, may also be estrogen resistant. So it may just be that. And we know that being overweight is associated with heart disease, high blood pressure, and so on. So it's just another risk factor with weight gain that we don't understand very much about. We just know it's important to try to get that to that ideal body weight.
All right, interesting.
Very interesting.
All right, let's go to the phones. We'll start with Jean in Partyville. Hi, Jean.
Hi.
What's your question?
Dr. Zorba, I'd like to know if detox teas are really beneficial or if it's just a waste of money.
Well, it depends on how much you spend on it. Now, if you're getting an inexpensive detox tea, that's certainly fine. There's no evidence, no scientific evidence that detox teas do anything.
What is it? I don't know
one
what
of
it
the
is.
things that, well, they're called detox teas to get rid of the toxins in your body. And there's, the FDA has said you can talk about it as long as you want to, as long as you never define it. You don't define toxins in your body. You just say they're toxins. If you say it reduces the risk of breast cancer and you're a little bit flow on the edge of what the FDA allows and does not allow. And the problem is a lot of this is pseudoscience. They'll say, wait a minute, this has been shown to reduce breast cancer in this person and that person, when reality is there's no science involved. So I always recommend save your money. If you want to have a good tea, buy a tea that you like.
All right, good advice. Let's go to Dick in Avalon. Hi, Dick. What's your question?
I have a ruptured disc in my lower back and a lot of arthritis, and a regular doctor doesn't want to do surgery. And I was wondering what he thinks about having laser surgery.
You know, the first, second, and third thing about low back pain or even upper back pain is to really get onto an exercise program with physical therapy. And the problem with exercise is that many people start an exercise program 1 week and they stop the exercise program 2 or 3 days later. In other words, it's really hard to do that. The first thing I always tell people with low back pain or neck pain is do an exercise program from a trainer or a physical therapist, which is even better. Be 90% compliant and give it 8 to 12 weeks. Once you do that, let's see where it is. So if you've not done exercise, the right exercise for 8 to 12 weeks with a physical therapist that really invented it, then the fact is you haven't really given conservative therapy the biggest risk. Laser surgery, surgery is surgery is surgery. It's the last thing we want to do with backs. The first thing is exercise.
All right, let's go to Larry in Madison. Hi, Larry.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you? What's your question?
Well, I think I just heard some of the answers from Dick.
You got some lower back problems, too.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I'm on my feet 6-7 hours a day, and I'm 70 years old.
Wow.
And, I've been doing some stretching. I tried to do this plank thing, on my kitchen table, not on the floor. And it seemed to help a little bit to strengthen
But I'll
my
tell you
back.
something, Larry, to give you some advice. Go to a physical therapist once to learn how to do the right exercises. Do a second time to go back because you'll forget half of what they tell you the first time. Then you'll have the right exercise program. And that's the way to do it. If you just do it happenstance, a little bit of here, a little bit of there, if you still have back pain, it's not necessarily well designed. That's what you need. You need a personal evaluation, and that's how you do that's the best way to do it.
All right, Larry, Dick, you got your answers. Yeah. Zorba, thanks for being with us.
Great to see you, Zorba. Thanks so much.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you all for
guys.
calling in. We'll do it again soon, and we'll be right back with the final check of your forecast. Here now, speaking of flooding, more rain on the way.
More rain on the way, not just for this afternoon, but overnight and into tomorrow. Also a very warm trend for us to start off the week. Looking at Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the 70s. Today, tomorrow, and for Wednesday, but then we drop right back down again. Very chilly into the week for us, much more similar to what we saw this weekend.
I had the furnace on over the weekend. I'm going to have to turn the air back on.
Don't need it today. Definitely not. I had the windows open this weekend. I like the cooler weather.
Yeah, I do too. All right, Dana, thank you. We'll be right back.
In today's Final Touch, we have you voted yet for your favorite fat bear?
Well, you have one more day. We're nearing the end of Fat Bear Week, and only the fattest bears need apply. To prepare for hibernation, bears at Alaska's National Park